Hello everybody, we'll be going through the third and final game of our Battle Cup weekend. The first one that I'll be doing, hopefully we'll be doing more past this. One thing I will say while we get in the draft here is I will be putting the Dota buff of my account in the description. As well, I'd like to know if any of you guys have any suggestions or anything for me going forward.
Dire team ban.
So, lycanthrope ban, once again, pretty standard from us. I feel like committing so many heroes onto that hero is not good. You don't want to, like I said, have to commit a tri-lane to shutting down Lycan because that's when he's weak, it's very early levels. And then if you lose that lane, then pretty much game's over because Lycan doesn't need a lot of names like Mask and Madness Armlet, and then he's pretty much set from there. Timbersaw ban, just something we don't want to play against. We don't really draft a lot of nukers, like especially because our mid really likes Troll. Axe ban, I can get behind that. Here's quite strong, a lot stronger than what people give him credit for. It's a 10-second RP. It's insane, with pure damage on top of it. Troll Warlord ban, they saw that we played it first two games, so that's understandable. We first phase Crystal, which is pretty, like, it is the best pick right now. Kunkka Disruptor I think was really interesting. Both of those heroes are really strong as supports, both roaming and laning. Maybe not Kunkka as much, but Disruptor is good, really good at that. You have so much control between both of those supports, so it's really hard to pick an offlaner versus them. Razor is really standard for us. Once again, all three games we picked Razor. He just destroys the offlaner, and he gives your support so much freedom to do a lot of other things, which is really good if you're playing Crystal, because you know she's a great jungler, and then she can move into a lane and gank, 3-4 minutes in it, and then go back to jungling. So a lot of freedom to do that. They banned Undyne here. Undyne's, I guess I saw last game. They didn't want to deal with the pressure. I feel like they maybe could have had they picked another hero, but whatever. I guess we're picking along the same lines, so it's probably pretty standard. And then they banned Bristle. We didn't pick Bristle any of the first two games, but it was picked on the enemy team both times, so maybe they thought that we didn't want it. Tinker, we just hate Tinker, and I didn't want to pick Night Stalker. Night Stalker's in the pool. If we look at the pool, actually, so of all these heroes, I'm thinking Night Stalker is a really big counter. We don't really have a great Storm player. Night Stalker Ags, I should say, because not Night Stalker in general. Although he is, I guess, Silence is still pretty good. In Flying Vision with his new E. And really past that, there's not much left in the pool that you really want to. Maybe like Batrider, but all these heroes we don't really have a lot to deal with them. You can play like Ember maybe to jump on top of him, or Spectre, but we already committed our safe lane, so it's just not a good situation for us to begin. Sniper, once again, is just a really good counter to the Razor. Razor needs to get on top of someone. Sniper doesn't allow you to do that, so I think we actually banned Sniper in all three games. I could be wrong on that. I know for sure we did ban it in game 2 because we had the Tombstone, but so Juggernaut was their third pick. Just another strong hero. We hadn't shown our offlaner yet, but I mean, those two supports plus Jug is going to be able to handle most offlaners. Our third pick here, I actually forget what we picked, so I'm interested to see. Oh yeah, Clock. Clock is just a comfort pick, and on top of that, it's a really good roaming support. It does quite well versus Kunkka and Disruptor, I feel like, because both of them are gonna have to rotate a lot here. Because we had our next pick as well planned up. Because we're okay. So a really important thing about both their supports, Kunkka and Disruptor, is that both of them want to chase in the lane, just like Razor does. Razor's he's a lot stronger in the safe lane than he is mid for one reason. It's you have to run with your opponent all the way down this much longer lane than it is as if they were mid. Or it's a lot longer in comparison to as if they were mid, is what I should say. Which is really why I feel like Razor is such better in the safe lane. I don't understand why anyone really likes him mid in comparison, because he gives your supports so much freedom to help so many other lanes. So, like I said, those supports really want to chase. So we're thinking, all right, well, we can get an offlaner that forces them to play under the offlane tower. So those two heroes are Lich and Enigma, and so I think we just go ahead and end up fourth phasing Enigma after I think they fourth phase Tide. Yep. And also this Enigma is really good versus Tide, I feel like, because you're going to be playing cooldown wars, and cooldown reduction is level 15 on Enigma while it's not on Tide. So works both ways, and on top of that, like I said, the Clockwork pick was because we wanted the Enigma. Works well with the Disruptor and Kunkka rotating because they're not going to be able to sit top, they're not going to be able to kill top, they're going to get unleveled if they stay there, so naturally they're going to roam mid. And Clockwork is really good at that early aggression, especially versus slow heroes like Disruptor and another melee like Kunkka that has no way of getting out of cogs. Enigma, like I already explained, he's going to keep it near the tower as well. In solo lane, it's going to deny Juggernaut a lot of experience early, so that's really good. I think he actually ended up getting like level 6 at like the 7.5 minute mark or something ridiculous like that in a solo safe lane. So the ban Sven, they still think Razor's mid. I don't understand that. I think that's rather poor. I guess they do have Juggernaut, but I don't really think Sven does great against Tidehunter either. So Silencer was this game. We do have heroes that have to commit on the enemy, like Crystal Maiden, Enigma. So Silencer, I felt like, was a really good ban here. And on top of that, we wanted an Outworld for our last pick. OD is really good against Tidehunter. You can banish him, so he can't ult and then target other heroes. He works really well against Kunkka's X marks the spot. Not as good because Disruptor's does send back still, even if you are Astral, but it does keep you banished for that duration, so maybe you can blink out after or something like that, or somebody's Disruptor ulted or Juggernaut ulted, you can still banish them, and there's tools to work with there. As well, gives us more team fight. They last picked Invoker here. Really thought this was not the best for them. Invoker does not do well versus OD. In fact, I think OD probably wins that lane 8 out of 10 times. Just by nature of Invoker's terrible laning phase, and OD having a reasonably good laning phase given you can get in range to Astral. However, I feel like Invoker does a lot better with rotations. In this game, they were going to be given rotations, so I suppose that is a benefit of the Invoker, because you can't really combo Astral unless you have like Mirana Arrow or something after that. Or at least it's a lot more difficult too. Maybe like this game we Astral into Cog setup and stuff like that, but Kunkka Disruptor along with Cold Snap and stuff like that is substantially more threatening than OD. I think OD still has a reasonably good laning phase in this game. Yeah, so we ended up losing this. It was a really close game. I honestly think they won off of a couple really lucky things. So Juggernaut dodged OD ult and Black Hole twice because of lucky Omni Slash bounces. So he Omni Slashed out of Black Hole and out of OD ult with spin twice. So I don't want to say we couldn't play better, but me personally, I got really greedy, ended up going Mighty SS soloed at the end for the Black King bar, but it was really crippling that when I started joining team fights here, we didn't win the team fights at this point, or at least if we did win the team fights, I was dead afterward. So the Black Holes were really hard to get off this game, and it was just because of the BKB timing. Like, honestly, like I said, some really unfortunate things. Had we got a couple kills with the Black Holes, I feel like we win this game. But the Omni Slash bounces were not in our favor, so OD had a relative, pretty good time mid versus Invoker. I feel like Invoker caught up later on. You can actually check this out. 10 minutes, generally what we look at. They're a little bit relative. I think OD came out a little bit ahead. The Jug had a little bit better laning phase. I don't think I played that lane perfectly than he should have. Or I didn't play perfectly, so he had a little bit better laning phase than he should have. But he ended up like surviving a couple times. So he just was dead to rights. Their support combo did a lot. I felt like ours, they did things too. I felt like mostly it was me on the Enigma that really couldn't deliver on this, and it was really unfortunate. Just unfortunate timings. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed these. Let me know what you think. I want to do these. I was also thinking about maybe some specific hero tutorials, and I'm not saying like necessarily things that other people are doing specifically. I'm saying more along the lines of situational item builds and stuff like that that I think other people are passing up, or heroes that are underlooked, maybe looking into them or something along those lines. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you next time.